What's up, everybody? Rick Coffman, running for Sheriff of Laurel County, coming to you. Just thought I'd drop in and say, hey, we're going to start doing a little bit more lives. We got the election is on April 19th, so we are going to be going live. We're going to be doing podcasts. We're going to be doing a little bit of everything. Just so you know, I'm Rick Coffman. I'm running, and I'm calling out corruption. I'm talking about everything that the other people are not talking about, and we are going to have a great day. So a few people are going to be coming in here, but I'm going to go ahead and get into while we're waiting for people to come in here, I'll go ahead and tell you. I promise to be a constitutional sheriff for the people. I plan on protecting people's rights. I plan on making sure everything's done constitutionally. No targeting, no retaliation. I'm not from a law enforcement background, so I'm not going to have all the cops' backs as far as, sweeping stuff under the rug. I'll be calling things out absolutely directly as needed. Let's see. Just let me check my live here, make sure everything's running good. Make a lot of changes, take complaints, investigate corruption, fight for the people, fight for justice for Doug Harless, fight for justice for anybody and everybody equally, fairly, across the board. I'm not from the area, which is, in my opinion, it's a major plus, because when you get somebody that's born there and they're tied into different communities, different groups, different sides, if you will. The thing is I'm from Lexington and from Versailles more than anywhere. I've lived in a few other areas, and never, ever has I ever seen the kind of stuff that goes on in Laurel County. So a lot of you guys are from there, so you might just think it's normal. But in other places like Fayette County, Woodford County, I lived in New Jersey, California, Indiana, Pennsylvania, and some areas I thought they might have had a little bit of corruption, but apparently they didn't compared to Laurel County. So I have no ties to anybody, so I'm running for the sole purpose of fighting for justice, because I see wrongdoing. I see that it's my obligation to stand up and fight for justice, because I can do this. I've been basically in CEO training for about 30 years. I've been running large businesses. I ran my own business for 16 years, started with a spare bedroom of a condo with 2 folding tables and built it into over a $2 million a year company. And everything was doing great until I moved to Lilly, Kentucky. Bought a house and put up a 9,000 square foot building, and then it was my dream. I accomplished my dream. So after all of that, I end up coming around and finding out that there is a massive corruption problem, and most people don't realize how big of a corruption problem is until it actually affects their life. So I guess maybe if it doesn't affect you directly, maybe you're not too worried about it, but as soon as it does your friends and your family, you certainly will. Or if you're on the good side of it, I guess that you don't mind certain kinds of corruption. So anyway, all right, I'm corrupt every state, every county. Yeah, okay. Well, I'm actually having to jump on my phone to actually see that there are people in here and they're commenting. For some reason, my fancy live dashboard is not working, so bear with me. A little hot. I had to turn off my air conditioner, but anyway, now that we got some people in here, I want to talk about a few things. One is seems like some other sides are turning on each other, and a lot of people are spreading hate. And I'd like to explain the difference between spreading hate, because I've been accused of spreading hate. Anybody ever see me call anybody names, insult people, call them a jerk, call them this, call them that? Kind of like Sheriff Root does. I do not, and even when people come at me very rudely, I respectfully do it professionally and calmly, and that's how I think it should be done. So, but the other sides, there's 3 sides to this story. There's a Root side, a Weddle side. I wouldn't even say it's a council side. I think it's more of a Root side, but for some reason Weddle can't go after Root, so I guess he just city council is their scapegoat. These are people that are just oversight. They don't actually run any of this stuff. All the stuff that's going on in Laurel County is a direct reflection of how the leadership runs the county, and the city council is oversight. So it's more, in my opinion, the people that are running, like the sheriff, the judge executive, and of course the mayor. We've seen a lot going on with that. Let's see. So the difference is, the hate is where people just bash you. We just booted somebody out of the group a minute ago because they were calling Bonnie very vulgar, using foul language and insulting her. for no other, with no facts, no nothing. They were just spewing hate. So I wanted to address that because our group, we don't spew hate. We spew facts. We spew things that have happened. We call out corruption. Now, people that support corruption may interpret that as hate, but let me tell you, that's not hate just because we're calling out corruption. Now, I guarantee you the people that are very corrupt, they probably hate that we're calling out corruption, but so be it. So we're just spreading awareness. That's what the whole group is. People come in the group, oh, you guys just spreading stuff, or that happened in the past, you know. Well, you know, people's past do matter. I guarantee you if I had some bad things in my past, that they would be bringing it up and throwing it in everybody's face every day. So we got that whole thing right there. And I want to make it a point that we aren't on, okay, I was saying there was three sides. We're on the side of the people. I'm not on council side, not on root side, not on Weddle side. We have no allegiances to anybody other than the people. So I like to consider myself being on the people side. And we've been getting a little bit of a lot of people sitting there saying that we're losing good members of our group and all that stuff later, referring to the Justice of Laurel County group, which I guess you know that because that's where we're live right now. But let's break that down. I'll give you an example, man. Bonnie posted a picture of a preacher, a church, going out and campaigning for Weddle. Well, we thought it was inappropriate for a pastor of a church to go out and wearing a Weddle shirt. For one, I'm sure a lot of people in the community would be kind of nervous because due to the way Weddle's people act, I'm sure a lot of people would be nervous if one of these people are actually knocking on their door. They don't know if he's a preacher or a tattoo artist or a redneck brawler. You know, these people may not want them on the property, but how can a church go out and publicly support somebody a guy that has indictments, he has FBI investigations into the police department that he runs, the guy has no transparency, he's hiding things, he's hated by many. The only people that really, truly love him are the most hateful people that you'd ever see. And then, I can go on and on. He's got audits going on. I don't know how many, 1, 2, 20 lawsuits. I don't know. I even have a lawsuit I might drop on him because I have grounds for a defamation lawsuit because he made up some phony BS stuff that I said something that I never said anything like that. And it's only slander if it's not true. So the mayor and his people, and even Root and their people, they like to slander people. We don't slander people. We come out with things that we're told, facts. If we don't know them to be totally true, we talk about what's hurt, what we hear, and all that stuff. And like I said, we're not a news reporting agency or anything like that. We created a group so that the people can have a voice. They can post anonymously. Oh my gosh, does that drive people crazy that they post anonymously? Let's say, what's up, Bonnie? What's up, Deandra? What up, Pete? I see you in there. My comment thing's not working totally, so I'm having to actually use my phone here to see the comments. But I'll get with y'all in a minute on the comments. I was talking about that we go after everybody equally. Now, a lot of times when we're going after just Weddle, because we've definitely had our share of going after Weddle, and let's face it, there's a lot of things to go after with that man. I mean, he is like there's so many different targets going on there, it's ridiculous, and I can't believe anybody would buy that man is legit in any way, shape, or form, and I can't believe anybody would condone his behavior. I can't believe anybody would condone the behavior of I support the Mayor Weddle group, which is pretty much his own personal thing, ran by his personal closest people. And they just, they make all these childish AI videos. They constantly bully people. And then they like, oh, boo, I'm getting bullied. For those of you that don't know, I'm an expert at narcissist abuse. And the number one thing that narcissists are normally guilty of is what they actually accuse other people of. So they create a problem and they do something and then they're guilty of it themselves and they accuse others of doing it. So it's a little bit ridiculous what they do. But we are an equal opportunity corruption exposer. We had somebody come in and say, oh, it's a preacher. You shouldn't really be going after the preacher. You might be losing some votes or you might be losing some good people to the group. It's unfortunate that people feel that way, that if they're fine with me calling out Weddle or Bonnie calling out Weddle, we'll talk about Bonnie in a second as well. They're fine with it until we end up somebody that they're related to or somebody that they're related to might be a deputy, work for the sheriff, or in this case, it had something to do with the preacher. And if you're going to be happy with 99% of what we do in this group and support us, and then 1 little percent that we're calling out somebody that you might be friends with, and then you're telling us, giving us ultimatums or telling us you better not do that or you're losing voters. If calling out corruption causes me to lose voters, those aren't the voters that I'm looking for. I'm looking for the voters that call out, that want the corruption called out and want the corruption fixed. Not just that corruption or this corruption, but we want the voters that are tired of all of the mess and get all of the corruption, kicked out and taken care of. So please, if you come at us telling us that, oh, we're going to leave the group if you don't delete this. I had it yesterday. Some people from Clay County, Bonnie made a post that said that we're kind of tired of people coming in from Clay County and harassing and stalking people that are at our council meetings, to the point that where people from London are fearful to even go to these council meetings. We're referring to that, but you know how they do it. They like to twist it all around and make it something that it's not, and people were trying to make that like, I think people got everybody in Clay County's boycotting London just because of Bonnie said something. I mean, is that not the most ridiculous you ever heard in your life? I mean, good Lord. So people are just looking for one little thing for us to say wrong. People are constantly trying to trigger Bonnie. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now, Bonnie and myself, we've earned the right to nitpick, call out, and do and say whatever we want. For one, Bonnie, who have you known, even more than I, spend more hours exposing, fighting. We're talking to people. People are sending us information. People are sharing our stories. We take this very serious, and it's almost like a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week type thing for us. That I'm fighting for me. I'm fighting for justice for Doug Harless, but we're also fighting for everybody, and we're fighting to rid the corruption. And there is no news anchor out there. There is nobody out there that has spent more time than Bonnie exposing all these people, and she is constantly treated like crap. I saw a comment right before we got on there, total foul language and nastiness and all that. And you know what? I don't want those kind of voters. I want good, honest people. We don't go out calling people's names or doing anything like that. So, man, y'all drop some hearts if y'all love what Bonnie's doing. Somebody in the comments, man, drop some comments that say respect to Bonnie and all that stuff, because she is underappreciated. She's abused. She's even been thrown in jail for false accusations. Which that idiot ended up having to go to jail himself for the same thing. He's guilty of what he's accusing other people of. But everything that we've been put through and Bonnie's been put through, and I don't even agree with everything she says. Sometimes she goes a bit too far, but she's earned that right, because every time they go too far against her, every time, and it's sickening to me. And if she actually one time reacts to some idiot that's just, she's got like 1,000 idiots trying to trigger her day. I do as well. Last night we had some idiot that must not be able to get any views on his own, just trying to post nasty, hateful stuff. That's spewing hate. So I'd appreciate if Bonnie and I were not grouped into the same category as people spewing hate, because we're not spewing hate. We're spewing facts, transparency, accountability, and they hate it, so... but props out to Bonnie. She is actually, I put her actually officially in charge of the group, so she's boss lady. So you want to come in and yell at her and then get surprised when you're kicked out, then so be it. As far as when we go to kicking people out, we actually don't kick people out just because we have a difference of opinion. We kick people out because they're crossing the line and they're attacking people, not just us. But one of the group rules here in Justice for Laurel County is if you are giving somebody crap for posting anonymously, you get the boot. The whole point of posting anonymously in our group is because Laurel County has gotten away with the last 30, 40 plus years of nobody could speak out because they get silenced and they get harassed, they get stalked. It might even cause them to lose a job or get it. People are afraid to somehow speak out in our group because they think they'll get evicted out of their place, because retaliation is a real thing. And if you don't know that, you're either a fool or you're fooling yourself. So, oops, sorry, I'm bouncing around here. Oops, microphone's in my way. I haven't done this in a while, so bear with me. But anyway, like I said, we're equal opportunity. We're going to go after everybody. If you come in here and you're fine with us calling somebody out, but not somebody else, we have no allegiances to any side of corruption. And even people that I have somewhat of allegiance to or something, if I ever find out they're corrupt, watch how fast I call them out. I make no deals. I will not compromise my integrity, my morals, my ethics, my principles, and I have total empathy for everybody. So I think I beat that subject hard enough. I'm going to talk about, somebody had sent me a post, somebody that had used to live in Laurel County, might have some family in there, sent me a story of, and I can't say it to be fact, but I can say what I'm getting ready to talk about more as fact. But there was question on whether, Root was involved, where somebody, like one girl had died, another one's paralyzed. I'm not finding anything to be able to prove that to be true, although they swear it to be true. I don't know. That's why I'm asking about it. If y'all know anything about that, let us know. But there was an event where John Root was in a passenger in a Jeep back in the day when he worked for KSP, and some girl fell out, broke her jaw, had to have surgery, permanent damage, and I think they ditched her. I don't know the whole story. You can search John Root on YouTube, and you can find all kinds of stories like this, towing scams, you name it. You can find all kinds of things. But his punishment for ditching, they didn't even take her to the hospital or anything. His punishment that I found out today was a 30 days suspension of being a KSP with no pay, and then he got transferred to another district. So when you hear about him being transferred from one to the other, now you guys know why he was transferred. He was transferred because he was riding around with his buddies, drunk as hell. Some girl fell out of the damn Jeep because they were being a bunch of idiots as they were being Kentucky State Police, and this girl got hurt, and then they ditched her because they didn't want to get in trouble. And it was kind of what they're trying to do, like with Doug Harless, just get it swept under the rug, and then people will just let it go and go away. How is it that you can get involved with that, and all you get is a 30-day and transfer to another district? Why don't y'all tell me in the comments, what do you think would happen to me or you if you're out riding around getting smashed, some girl falls out your vehicle, breaks her jaw, has to have surgery and all that, and then what would happen? Do you think we would just have to stay home from our job with no pay for 30 months and then get transferred to continue being a law enforcement officer somewhere else? This is somebody that shouldn't even be in law enforcement. And then if you search John Root on YouTube, you're going to find other videos. Like, they intimidate people. They went after some drug dealer guy. Okay, bust a drug dealer. Hallelujah for busting a drug dealer. Does it give you the right to break out every single window in every single vehicle in their driveway and their house, busting out sunroofs and all that? You can't commit felonies and bust people, and that's what happens a lot of times with I've seen it myself. Many people's rights are busted. There's no probable cause, which pulling somebody over is without probable cause is a felony. It's a crime. It's a criminal offense. And if you're going to commit a felony to bust somebody for a misdemeanor, do you think that's right? And then they prejudge people all the time, either because they've arrested them for drugs or something before, so they're just going to constantly stalk these people for the rest of their life. These people will not be able to have a normal life, and they don't want to help them. They just want you to bust them and bust them and bust them and bust them. And I'm finding out that the police work in that town is that they don't want to do any investigations or anything whatsoever. They want to take calls and bust people. They want to pull people over and bust people. If they find a weed eater, and I'm grouping all law enforcement together, because if you think that the Kentucky State Police and the Laurel Sheriff's Department and the London Police, if you think they're not all just the same, you think there's one good police department and the other one's totally bad? I don't think so. And if you haven't noticed, most of these always are transferring people back and forth all the time. So I don't think that's kind of good law enforcement. If somebody was ever fired from another job of the police department, I don't think that I would like to have them. So enough about Root. I think I went on for him for about an hour and a half. Go check out the video I did the other day. I'm calling out a lot of stuff that a lot of people are thinking it and wanting to say it, but they can't ever say it because they're silenced and all that. And Root and what's his name, Grimes, are just going around like, ooh, I like horses. Oh, the best thing I ever did was I put people's Facebook profiles on page to bust them. That way people can know what's going on in the community, even though I will never tell them anything that goes on in my department in the community. And there's just nothing that good. I mean, clearly, he's not constitutional. Neither one of those guys talked about anything constitutional or any rights or anything like that whatsoever. But anyway, enough about Root. I'd like to actually send out prayers to because man, I can not like somebody, but I don't wish harm on anybody. So little prayers for Mr. Randy Weddle's wife. I heard that she had a big fall the other day, so I hope that she's okay. Kind of worried, concerned about her because I've also heard that her injuries are not consistent of that with a fall. And I've seen a lot of women that over the years had employees that would have men just show up yelling and screaming where I had to kick guys out. And I've helped a lot of women that were battered and abused. And many of them say when they're to protect their man, what do they say? Oh, I fell. So I can't say that to be fact, but that's something that will make you go, right? So I'm going to get on to, I just want to announce I'm going to be, I don't know if y'all seen, there's going to be a sugar-coated podcast on the 15th, just 4 or 5 days right before the election. And I promise to leave the sugar at home when I go there. I'm going to teach them boys how to talk about some real stuff. Not dogging them in any way, shape, or form. Those guys are just running the podcast. And, if you drill the hell out of everybody that comes on your show, next thing you know, you won't get anybody on your show. So they're just trying to be nice, professional. They're trying to do their thing, build their podcast. And I think they're just recently becoming involved with a lot of London's politics. And unfortunately, most of their guests have been Root and Weddle. So they only know what they have to go on. So I guess it'll be up to me to go, inform them in on some stuff here. Let's see. And then I got Monday. The Expendable Show on YouTube. Tune in at 7 o'clock on Monday. I'll be there. Another one, this great guy, Crack 40, does podcast. Might be on not Instagram. I don't even hardly do Instagram. It'll be on TikTok, whatever you call it, TikTok. So we got podcasts coming up. And then, let's see. I think I've already thrown enough people under the bus. Not spewing hate, just spreading facts, that's all. Let's see. Anybody got any questions in here? They're not coming up on my big computer screen. I just see Bonnie's watching. There's 14 people in there. Y'all drop some hearts if you're going to vote for change. Drop some hearts for Bonnie. Drop some hearts for me. Drop some hearts if you want us to keep doing this. Anybody got any questions? I don't know if I'm just not getting the comments. Look, it just keeps saying Bonnie's watching, Bonnie's watching, Bonnie's watching. That's right, you all. Somebody's watching you. All right, you all. I appreciate it. I'll be back in town before you know it. I guess I'm going to go ahead and wrap this little video up. I'm going to try to do at least one a day for the most part. Plus, I'll be on a bunch of podcasts and all that. Man, I almost need my glasses to see this. No questions? Or is somebody asking questions and I'm not just seeing it? I don't know. If so, I just might have... Look, now there's more and more people coming in here. Y'all say at least... Will somebody drop a comment just so I can say, Candam, what's up? Me and Candam, we have something in common. We like to put our side-by-sides on the side. I guess that's why they call them side-by-sides. All right. It says there's about 18 people in here right now. Everybody watching, man, say, what up, Rick? What up, Bonnie? Let us know. Any questions? Alrighty. Well, let's see. There you go, Bonnie. Rick Coffman for Sheriff. Y'all leave my Bonnie alone. Like I said, I don't agree 100% with everything she says, but she has earned the right. And if you're going to like 99% of what she says, and then there's one thing that you don't like, what's up, Tom? If there's one thing that you don't like and you're ready to turn your back on us, then you weren't really with us in the beginning. You just liked it when we were hurting your enemy. What up, Denton? How you doing? All right. There went one light. Man, you guys are just drilling me with these hard questions, man. Y'all just like listening to me talk, don't you? All right. Well, if y'all aren't going to ask me no questions, that's right. Truth and transparency all the way. I will tell you the truth, even if it hurts me. But I'm not going to have to worry about that because I don't do shady crap. I don't. What up, Donna? How you doing? All right. Well, it's Saturday night, and I got some work to do on my side-by-side, and I don't know what you guys are doing tonight, but I'm going to go fix my side-by-side. I'm going to go do a little bit of riding, and I'm going to come back and have a nice little bonfire. The campground's kind of full of people, so we might do a little karaoke, have a little fun, a little bourbon, and a little cigar action. And I'll see you tomorrow. I'll drop a video, and then make sure to tune in Monday night at 7 o'clock on YouTube on The Expendable Show. Everybody go right now and subscribe to The Expendable Show, and go ahead and subscribe there. And we'll see you then. Oh, I thought I was slick and ended it by hitting the mouse button, but there's two things I got to hit. So on that note, later.